A very good morning to you and welcome to Wellness This Morning with me, Sandra Kopp, here on Sunrise at Sea. It's very good to be hanging out with you this morning. Well, I am back to Court Dental Clinic in Kamocha and I am back with Dr. Angela Kisa, and today we are discussing teeth grinding. I'm sure you know one of those kids that used to grind their teeth. There was this person in kindergarten, I remember, and she used to grind her teeth and I used to wonder, why does she do that? Well, today is the moment of truth. I'm going to find out why. Good morning, doctor. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you, Sandra?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to see you once again.
Good to see you too.
Every time I live here, I have learned something totally new.
I'm glad.
Well, why do people grind their teeth? I've always wondered, why do they do? And it can get so irritating when you sit next to somebody and they're grinding their teeth. Why do they do it?
Well, there's a number of causes of teeth grinding. You said something about kids, and I remember when we were kids, they used to tell us that people that used to grind their teeth were night dancers. I think it's stuck, and even when you ask some people here if they grind their teeth, they'll like quickly deny it. No. They'll be like, no, I don't grind my teeth, but like they're all the symptoms. Yeah. Anyway, teeth grinding can be caused by a number of things. The first is mouth breathing.
Okay.
So why mouth breathing is because, like I said before, you're supposed to breathe through your nose, right?
Yes.
Because the nose is made for
that
breathing,
purpose.
For that purpose. So that means that they are filters for the air and the hairs that warm the air,
as it comes in.
So now, if a person is breathing through their mouth, that means cold air is getting into their body, the body will not welcome it, and so people grind. It's involuntary, but they'll grind to warm up that air, especially in the night, right? Okay. Because when you grind, that friction causes heat, right?
Yes.
And so the air will be warm
as it goes inside. So
that's one of the reasons. Another reason is so there is a joint here on our skull called the TMJ. It connects the upper part of the skull to the lower part of the skull, right? The mandible and the temporal.
Oh, here, is that here?
So it's here.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you do this, you can feel it move.
Yes.
Yeah, so now that, if it's misaligned, that means it can cause grinding, because it can get overly stimulated, and those stimulations cause that involuntary grinding. That as well. And then sometimes it can be caused by anxiety, because it's not just grinding at night. Some people grind mostly at night, but sometimes it's during the day, right? So you'll find the person that clenches their teeth when they're anxious or probably stressed about something. That can also be grinding, right? So those are some of the reasons that people grind those are some of the causes of grinding. The TMJ misalignment, the mouth breathing, the anxiety, and
some people have said that someone could grind their teeth, could be a teeth grinder, and not actually know.
Yeah.
Is this true?
Usually, because it happens at night, it's hard for a person to know that they grind. So they'll get all these symptoms of a grinder, which we're going to talk about. They'll get all these symptoms of a grinder, but they won't know because they don't hear themselves. When you're sleeping, you don't know if you're. It's like a person that snores. You'll tell them you snore, and they're like,
I do not.
Yes. So that's the same thing with grinding. So usually people don't know, except the people that
like are anxious, like are awake,
and even then they may not know because they're not thinking about it. It's just a reflex to how they're feeling, right? Yeah, so most people don't know.
So what are the symptoms? How would you know you're a teeth grinder?
Usually you won't know you're a teeth grinder, but when you come to a professional and they tell you, and they look at you and listen to you, they'll know what's wrong. So the first symptom is tenderness around the facial muscles, right? So if you press around here, around the head, all those muscles will be tender. There is sometimes it swells, right? And then there is
when you feel tired, like you've been chewing.
Yes, you feel tired, like you've been chewing, and sometimes people even wake up feeling muscle pains, and they usually say, I slept badly, but usually that's not the case, because the muscles, in as much as you sleep badly, if they are relaxed, they'll be relaxed. But if they were working overnight, grinding, because when you're grinding, you're working the muscles, all the muscles around here. So if you're working them, then they'll wake up tired. So they'll have this constant tension and fatigue, and so they'll give you that kind of pain. So it's usually not what it seems like, because a person will be like, I slept in a wrong position. But if that's recurring every day, you feel like you slept in a wrong position, then that means you're not sleeping in a wrong position. The muscles are tired because you're grinding your teeth. Yeah, so that's some of it. And then chipped teeth, you'll find that a person has, my tooth chipped, but you don't know how.
You don't know why.
Yes.
How?
It's because of that constant grinding. And then usually sensitivity. A person will keep on saying, I have sensitivity in my teeth, but like they don't know where it's coming from. That's because when you grind your teeth, so the tooth has a protective layer around it called the enamel.
Yes.
So it's the one that protects the inner parts of the teeth. But when you're constantly grinding, that friction wears off that surface, right? And so the underlying surface, which is the dentine, will be the one that shows now exposed. And now for it, when it's exposed, it is sensitive, right? So it can be sensitive to sweet things, to cold things, hot things, all those things, right? So those are some of the symptoms. So when you start to get sensitivity that you don't understand, or when you feel constant tension in the muscles of the neck and the shoulders and the face, and your teeth are chipping, you don't know why, stuff like that, then you need to seek professional help, because then you probably are a grinder.
And talking about professional help, what are the remedies? What can someone do? Like you have gotten to understand that, okay, yes, I have this problem and it's causing me other issues like sensitivity issues and all that. How do you take it from there?
So when you come to us and we assess and we see how bad the situation is, how we find out how long you've grinded, there are a few options that we have. Usually the first thing that we do is give you a night guard. Now, because grinding happens mostly at night, the night guard will take measurements of your teeth and make something that fits your teeth perfectly. So what that does is it prevents the teeth from meeting and grinding, right? Because it's like a protective layer now between the teeth. So that means even if you grind, you'll be grinding on the rubber, right, of the night guard, not on the teeth. And so that is the first thing to help, because now it's not going to change the habit of grinding, but it's stopping the teeth from meeting.
Wow, thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. See, I learn something new every day when I come here. Well, I hope you are listening. If you grind your teeth, or if your child grinds their teeth, don't just let it pass and be passive about it. Do something about it. As the doctor said, you can give first aid, and that's put a pen just at the front teeth every 5 minutes for 5 minutes every hour, just to make those muscles relax, because it can be quite painful. And then of course, see a dentist, be assessed, because it can lead to other issues as sensitivity, chipped tooth. So you definitely want to correct that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode like I did. I surely did. Thank you, doctor. And that was Dr. Angela Kisa of Code Dental Clinic here in Kamocha. You can come down here and get your dental procedures. They have you sorted. That was all with me, Sandra Cope, on Wellness this morning. But stay at sea. We'll be right back.